Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles, and welcome to the top 20 dark Halloween magic cards. Now, bet you've seen some other top lists before, and instead of just going through all of magic for top 10 or something like that, I thought it'd be way more fun to focus on the top 20 from a specific set. So we're going to use the dark, because that is the most Halloweenish feeling set ever. It's dark, it's gothic. You guys may not know about it because it's from way back in the mid-90s. But I was playing when this set came out. The stuff came out in 8-card booster packs, 2 uncommons, 6 commons. Now things have been divvied up into rares and stuff, but there was one point where the set was considered to only have 1 uncommon in it. It had a bunch of commons, 1 uncommon, and like 60 some odd rares in a set that's only 118 cards. So the dark is a fun little set. It's flavorful as hell. It's really dark and grim. It's set in a time where the Brothers' War has just ended, and basically it's almost the equivalent of like a nuclear winter, if there was like a nuclear war kind of deal, where the sun's been blotted out by ash from the Silex blast. Magicians, mages, they're all being hunted down by a crazy church that wants to wipe all magic off the planet after that apocalypse-style situation happened. So there are only 2 places in the entire plane of existence that there are actual mages, and they're in 2 hidden schools. One is in the City of Shadows, and then there's another one I can't remember the name of right now. So, just a little bit of backstory about the set, and another interesting thing about it is this is the first time that they printed a set outside of English. So you got Italian, like I believe this and Legends were the first ones to get the Italian printing. So there are no other languages other than Italian or English for the dark. Let us dive into the Halloween themed cards. We will start now. These are in no particular order, basically, because a lot of them don't feel particularly better than others. The only one that I really did pick was absolutely number 1, is the one that I feel is the absolute most Halloweenish card. But the rest, you can move the order around based on your own interest level. So we're starting out with Festival. This one fits clearly because obviously Halloween is a festival, but then when you look past Crazy Feather Hat into the background and you see the skull holding gesture, you're like, oh, okay, this feels like Halloween-ish. And then the flavor text actually talks about how the holiday rituals held a deeper purpose. And you may or may not know, but Halloween actually did have a deeper purpose. They thought that evil spirits would come out at that time, and basically you just want to dress up and look like one so they wouldn't mess with you. It's hilarious old superstitions. So, the dark has a lot of these funky old gothic style, very Halloweenish cards, like Witch Hunter we have up next here. And Witch Hunter is interesting. Actually, the dark was really interesting for really monkeying about with the color pie. And I mean, if you know about what's traditionally in the color pie now, you will see this card is a very odd card, because it's a white card that does direct damage to a player and also bounces things, and those are generally not whitish abilities. But the Witch Hunter, I mean, hunting witches on Halloween, it makes sense. And look at the artwork. That guy does not look friendly. It's not going to be a good time for any witches he finds. Then we have the Ghost Ship. I mean, come on, Halloween stories about a pirate crew coming out of nowhere, a ship that makes no noise as it sails through the water. Come on, this is obviously scary, obviously Halloween themed. The dark had so much cool shit like this. It was literally dripping with the dark was like a Halloween flavor set. Welcome to hell, you know? Then we've got cards like Eater of the Dead. I mean, look at this thing. It's some crazy, it's got like eyes in its chest and a crazy beast face, and it just gains energy by consuming the dead. It's so nuts. I mean, read the flavor text on it. Even the putrid muscles of the dead can provide strength to those loathsome enough to consume them. That is intense as hell. I never know exactly what I'm looking at when I stare at this card. That is a monstrosity. Definitely Halloween material. And so is Frankenstein's monster. I mean, anything that ties into monster movies, all that stuff, it's got a 100% Halloween feel. I think it's really odd to see, like, Frankenstein's monster feels weird to include it in Magic. This is when Magic was just starting out and they hadn't fleshed it out as well, but it's like, so you're telling me that on this plane where the brothers existed and had their Brothers' War and the nuclear winter happened, that Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, like Dr. Frankenstein, also lived there and made Frankenstein's monster? Like, it's this weird sort of, it's the kind of thing you see in cheesy movies where they throw in Bigfoot into their world or something. So it's interesting and definitely Halloween themed. Then we've got the Fallen. Oh my god. I loved this card when it came out. I loved the fact that when you hit your opponent, then it just sits there existing. and damages them every turn. Like, basically it's just either like eating away at you, or the magic from it, like having attacked you, is just wearing away your sanity. But either way, one touch from the fallen and you too will join their ranks. So cool. Then we've got Ragman. God damn, look at this art. This guy is Halloween as fuck. He's all hunched over, covered in the crazy rags. That long, distended arm with those crazy long claws. Oh my god, and the flavor text. Look at that. Aw, he's just a silly, dirty little man. What's to be afraid of? Look at him, you're not afraid of that? That's just a silly little dirty man? Jesus, look at the claws, lady. Holy fuck. Then we've got Elves of the Deep Shadow. Now this is just somebody's goth Halloween girlfriend. Like, literally, this is just like somebody painted their girlfriend for a magic card. But you can't have Halloween without some sexy ladies and some goth ladies, and they're all going to be competing with each other. And that's where Civilian Elves comes in, because she wins the competition. Bitch, I just put spiderweb on my titties, and I go out, and it's Halloween time. Best Halloween costume ever. And also, look at this shit. She literally has spiders on her fingertips, spinning out spiderwebs. How cool is that? She can do her own Halloween decorations so easy. You bring her over to your house, she'll put up the spiderwebs, and you can watch them titties jiggle. Ron Spencer was nailing it artwork-wise even back in the day. Moving on to what I have for those ladies, the Bone Flute. One of the biggest, cheesiest jokes in all of Magic. Let me twiddle your bone flute. Touch my bone flute. I tap that bone flute. But you know what? If you actually just look at the card from a horror standpoint, it's fucking horrific, dude. The Bone Flute was literally fashioned out of a lord's left leg. That's a fucking leg bone with a bunch of holes drilled into it. And you're gonna put your mouth up. You're gonna put your mouth on that bone flute? I mean, yeah, put your mouth on the bone flute, lady. It's also funny that the Bone Flute was fashioned by a lady. All right, moving on. Uncle Istvan. This guy, holy shit, look at this crazy hermit who lives in the woods. He's got a skull tied to his axe. That can't make using that axe easier. That's got to make it harder. That's just for style. Uncle Istvan lives style. And the idea of a crazy old hermit who lives in the woods, he's off by himself, he's gone crazy from being left alone. And now he keeps company with only those he can catch. And he murders them. And no creatures can harm him. He can't be harmed. He's like he's reached this supernatural level where he's like a story you would tell the kids. Uncle Istvan's gonna come and get you. So cool. Then we've got the Scarwood Hag. Look at this witch. Don't ask me how the hell this thing grants Forest Walk. It makes no sense. But in terms of Halloween flavor, I mean, god damn, look at that thing. It's so ugly and horrific, just lurking below the water surface, I should say, in the Scarwood. Fuck, man, that is not going to be a good day of trick-or-treating. Then we got the Scavenger Folk. Look at the artwork. Look at this obsessed dude. I picture this as the little kids obsessing over the Halloween candy. Yes, my precious. Then we have Reflecting Mirror. This is the kind of mirror you would see in a Halloween house of horrors, reflecting your own death back at you. Stare into your own death. So cool. And you know what? This is a fun card. I used to actually really like it back in the day. You could use it to stop people from lightning bolting you and other nonsense. Him to Turox. Makes them think twice. Sure, it's expensive to activate, but it's also very interesting. Then we've got Skull of Orm. I mean, skulls are obviously Halloween decorations, and this one's even more badass because it has that crazy metal helmet with the jaw guard, and one of the eyes is glowing. So it's so cool that and the flavor text as well. I mean, though lifeless, it still possesses strange power over the flow of magic. That's cool. Literally, this guy is dead, but he was so powerful that there's still magical essence trapped in his skull, and it's kept on this nice pillow like a decoration. Totally hits the list for Halloween. Oh, this one is probably number 2 on the list for me. Holy shit, Scarecrow. Oh my god. I mean, first of all, when it comes to Halloween, people put scarecrows out on their lawn. People like to dress up as scarecrows and scare kids jump out of them. But look at this shit. Look at this artwork. Oh my god, it looks all like stitched up and scarred, and the whole crazy looking dread hair kind of thing. The button eye, just the artwork is a home run. The way the mouth is sewed shut actually makes it look like those are teeth. Like, it doesn't just look like the mouth is sewn shut, it looks like it has jagged, pointy teeth. It's so cool. There's more malice in its button eyes than should have been possible in something that had never known life. God damn, what a flavor win. That is a terrifying card. Honestly. The only card I think that's more scary than this, that almost made it on the almost made it on the list because but it didn't because it wasn't in the dark, is Living Wall. Oh my god, that card. There's like a fetus and stuff in that. Jesus. Then we've got Tormod's Crypt. Because crypts, I mean, come on, it's pretty obvious when it comes to Halloween. You got your graves, you got your crypts, mausoleums, all that totally fits into the theme. So as you can see, guys, the dark really nails it when it comes to providing Halloween-themed cards. City of Shadows. This is one of the 2 locations that I was talking about where magic was practiced. This one is crazy because you have to sacrifice one of your creatures, exile. This is before exiling was a thing, really. So it says sacrifice one of your creatures, but remove it from the game. That's how they used to say exile. And then you put a counter on this, and it taps for colorless mana equals the number of counters. So basically, anybody who joins the City of Shadows can never leave. You're permanently a part of it, but it grows more powerful and becomes a more potent place of magic. It's basically, once you find the City of Shadows, you're never allowed to leave. We're the secret place where they study magic. So cool. And very Halloween feeling too. A dark, foreboding City of Shadows that nobody ever returns from. Very dark. And speaking of lands, we've got Maze of Ith. God damn, does this card fit. I mean, sure, it's just a maze, but look at it. What the hell is it made of? Is it a living membrane? It's got weird tentacles coming off it. Is it an entire planet unto itself? Like, do you get sent to a mining planet, a Minecraft? Do you get sent to a miner planet where you're trapped inside this tiny little planet maze? And it just feels organic and creepy and disgusting. And another thing I'll note, actually, since we are talking about these dark lands, is these lands in the dark are the only lands that actually have this purpley kind of gray color to them in all of Magic. They did do a throwback to it when they reprinted Safe Haven from the dark in Time Spiral, but this is specific only to that set, so that's kind of neat. And then we've got number 1, topping out the list for me, clearly has to be number 1, is Season of the Witch. I mean, the artwork is intense. You've got the orange and black, so you definitely have the Halloween feel from that. You've got that really foreboding face. Is the forest on fire? Is that fire burning up, or is it just like a skull looming up over there? It's so cool. The number of ways to interpret the artwork is really dope. The name Season of the Witch, I mean, that would be a great name for Halloween, honestly. You know what I mean? Or the time that that's what we could call autumn, Season of the Witch. It totally fits. It's so flavorful. And I mean, in terms of what the card does, its ability doesn't really feel that much like Halloween-y, but just the name, the flavor, it's so evocative looking at the cards. I mean, I guess if you want to say, I mean, it does require that you attack with your creatures each turn, so it does require like everyone getting involved and getting engaged, but that part of it doesn't feel too Halloween-y, but because of the rest of it, Season of the Witch and the artwork, it totally hits the top of the list. And what's really interesting to me about this as well is this artwork was done by Jesper Myforce. And what you guys probably don't know is he is actually responsible for the majority of this entire set's design. Like normally when you see set design, it will say the names of multiple people, right? But it'll just say like person X, person Y, person Z. In this case, it says Jesper Myforce with additional like help from. So basically the bulk of this set was designed by one guy, and it might explain why the whole set has this really dark, evocative feeling. Clearly, Jesper Myforce is excellent at getting across this dark Halloween kind of vibe, because Season of the Witch is an excellent representation. So, my friends, thanks very much coming and checking out my Halloween episode, you fucking Halloweenies, and we'll see you next time!
I just wanted to say, together we are the 6th color of magic. Have a good one.
Heart Media, we the best magic!